So I'm Yalda Al-Ani. I'm from Iraq. I'm a senior, an English major, and a creative writing minor. I took this trip to Argentina because I'm very interested in human rights work for my career in the future, hopefully. My course with Professor T and Professor Longo to the Argentina trip was absolutely, I dare say, the most important experience, educational experience that I had in William & Mary. We learn about history and about human rights through books, through classes, through discussions, and that's definitely effective for teaching us about the experience of a people. But it is absolutely different when we actually meet these people, because these people became real. To me, seeing and being there humanizes the people who have lived through these experiences. I was having that actual experience of visiting a prison and seeing actual inmates in there and how they are treated, talking to victims of the dictatorship. It became more clear to me. It was real. It was more real to me when I saw it in Argentina. I cannot imagine a world where art doesn't exist. That is just not a thing. I would never want to live in a world where art doesn't exist. I was sure before I went to Argentina that my final project, my creative project, is going to be poetry. So there were 6 poems. One of them is about the prisoners. 2 of them is about the disappeared people during the dictatorship. So there were 30,000 people who disappeared. And because they disappeared, we don't hear their voices anymore. We talk about them as numbers. I wanted to give these people a voice to represent their sense of loneliness and longing to be home. The specific poems, the one that is in the cage, is about my experience in the prison there and meeting with the prisoners. I chose to put it in a cage because it represented the experience of the people who were in prison. The other poem I wrote, which is I think my favorite, so a part of the disappeared people were women who were pregnant, and after they give birth, their babies were taken away from them and illegally given to illegal adoption to families who supported the dictatorship. And the mothers were killed after they gave birth. And this specific poem, her doctor, is in the voice of the doctor who performed a surgery on this woman to give birth, and then she would be killed after that. So the papers, I got the papers that are looking like old ancient papers, and I burned them. I worked on burning these. I used cigarettes to make holes in them. I spilled some coffee on them, and I burned the edges to represent, to make them look like they're old documents. And no matter what the states and dictatorships and any oppressive government tries to hide evidence and get rid of and destroy evidence for their crimes, history lives on, and the memory of the people lives on with the people. That's what I was trying to present through that presentation.